Hi, and welcome to Gardening Tips. This is session number 7, and I hope that your gardens are starting to grow. Today we're going to talk about those seedlings that you planted 6, 7, 8 weeks ago, and the weather's getting warmer, so it's time to think about transplanting them outside. So we need to make sure that the soil temperature is warm, and you need to look at your seed package to find out what temperature is best for what the plant that you are transplanting. The best time of day to transplant seedlings is in the early morning, and it's best on an overcast day. So early risers, this is for you. But before you do that, you need to harden off your plant, and that means that they've been inside and they're used to inside conditions, and you need to slowly get them accustomed to outdoors conditions. So give them less watered, but keep the soil moist, and you start doing this about a week or 10 days before you plan to plant them outside. So put them out. I put them on a table and put them in a protected area for 2 to 4 hours per day, increasing it as you go along, and gradually move them into full sun and wind. And notice the wind. They also need to get used to that. They haven't had wind when they're inside. So how do you do this? You set the seedling into loose soil. Often you will dig a little hole, depending how big your seedling is, and then water each seedling well as you plant it. Don't wait, don't put all your plants out and then water them at the end. No, water each one as you go along, because your roots need to set and they need water to do that. Make sure you space your plants appropriately. If they are growing vertically and you have a rack or something for them to grow up on, then you make sure you have room for that rack between each of your plants. So some examples here: tomatoes. Some helpers so they set well is compost, manure, Epsom salts, kelp, etc. Depends what you have. So again, you dig a hole, you put in I like to put in Epsom salts and put a little manure in there or compost. And then your tomato plant, you cover the root system up to the first set of true leaves, and then you water it really well. And again, you have these racks for them to grow up and to contain the vertical growth, so make sure you space them properly. Cucumbers, I grow my cucumbers vertically. You can grow them on the ground as well if you have space for that. So your seedlings should have at least 3 leaves before you transplant them outside, but don't let your seedlings get too big. And they love the warm sunny weather, and that will make them thrive. Again, you put a hole in the ground and then cover them up to the first leaf, and water them well even after you've transplanted them, so that they don't become bitter. And once you get fruit, your cucumbers, pick them off, and so that it will encourage the plant to produce more fruit. So your squash, melons, and pumpkins, similar to cucumbers, they also love the warm weather. So think about that when you are where you're going to plant them outside. But you need to also have a large area, for they spread their vines all over, so they will take over other areas if you plant them too close. And also be very cognizant of the fact that you don't want to plant these 3 things together. You want them on opposite sides of your gardens, because they can cross-pollinate, and you can get pumpkins or squash that are the inside like pumpkins, or melons that are like squash. So you don't want to have that. So make sure that there's distance between them. So that's it for transplanting. Have fun, get those plants out there, and next time we're going to talk about crop rotations. Have fun gardening.